Bryan Andaya is the Chief Operating Officer of L&L. He was the former president of the Filipino Chamber of Commerce, and he is also the field representative for Senator Brian Schatz. Bryan shares his thoughts on education here in Hawaii.
Challenges that I'm facing today, I would say deal with costs. The cost of living here, particularly here in Honolulu, in raising a family, having a young family. One of the challenges is really, education and how much you're willing to sacrifice for a good education for your children. I was born and raised in Hilo, so there wasn't really much choice, right? You go to the school that's in your town where you grew up in your district, and there's really not much choice, especially in terms of private schools. Not much choice at all. It's a good thing. It's a bad thing too. It's a bad thing because you probably don't get that level of specialization in education that you probably would want. But it's good because you're forced to deal with the situation that you're in. You're forced to deal and make the best of the education that's available. Whereas here, it's more of a pay-to-play type of a system. And that's a big challenge, I think, not only for me, but for any parent out there that's starting out. That's a big sacrifice that you have to make. And there's no right or wrong decision, whichever way you go or whichever school you choose. But the fact that there's all these choices out there, and it's almost kind of a rat race, so to speak, to get into the so-called top schools, and it puts a lot of pressure on young parents. I think someone starting out, well, first of all, and I think cost is something, that's the price of paradise, like we're saying. But for someone starting out, I would just focus on your passion. Focus on whatever it is that you'll be able to do, and you can wake up in the morning looking forward to doing that on a daily basis, day in, day out, and to focus on your passion and really believe in what you do. And I think whatever it is, I think everything else would fall into place. Because if you're passionate about something, chances are you'll be good at it. And if you're good at it, no matter which profession you're in, or no matter which business you're in, that you choose to start, or which company you choose to work for, if you're good at something, chances are there's going to be a good market out there for whatever it is that you do, and you'll be able to make it. I think it's important that when you start out that you develop a solid network. Like I said, if you focus on your passion and you're good at what you do, you should naturally be able to develop a network in your field. And the greater the network you have, and beyond your field too, within your field you're going to have a natural network just by what you do for a living. But beyond that, it's important to have networks outside of that industry or profession. So for example, I started in law. I was an attorney, but I knew that I could not only network with other attorneys. It had to go broader than that. And one of the most effective ways of networking, and then there's a lot of network groups out there, and I think most of them are very good, but one of the most effective ways is to do community service. And again, it's all about your passion. So you might have a passion about a particular cause or community, and it might not pay you, right? You might have to end up doing it pro bono or just volunteering your time. Well, it's not, I would encourage people to not look at it so much as, oh, I'm not being paid for my time, or I'm not getting anything out of this, I'm not getting immediate results. It's really, the networking that you get. You meet a lot of interesting people, you meet a lot of shakers and movers out there in the community, in business as well as nonprofit and government. And really the way I got to where I'm at today is really through community service and the networking and the people that I've met through different projects I've worked on throughout the years. It's not just being about the best at what you do. I mean, although that's important, and your core competency is really something that you cannot forget about and you always should focus on. But beyond that, to really develop the network, it's really about community service, getting out there, meeting people, and it's not like meeting people at a networking event, showing up one time and shaking hands one time. To me, I don't know how effective that would be. But with community service, and you actually work on projects for the common cause, I think that's when you really develop those meaningful relationships.